Hey everybody, Daniel Rubino here with Windows Phone Central, and we've got an unboxing and hands-on here with the Nokia Lumia 625. Nokia's latest addition to their Lumia series, which just constantly gets bigger and bigger. This phone brings a few unique features to the market, including a massive 4.7-inch display, which is really interesting, and LTE, all in a low-cost, affordable device, and it just shows you how much they're driving down costs on these. Now, the 625 is, I don't want to say it's a follow-up to, it's an expansion of the 620 lineup, or you can even say the 600 series in general, because there was a 610 earlier. This, of course, is the 620, one of my favorite little phones here, because look how cute that thing is, right? This is a 4-inch device, and it just looks absolutely stunning with the clear black display on here. So this is the smallest Windows Phone 8 device that Nokia makes at 4 inches. This guy, on the other hand, is now the biggest, which is a really neat thing to have in your 620 line, I suppose. So let's take a quick look here at what comes in the box, and I'll give you some first impressions of this device. Now, this comes in orange and a variety of colors, including that cool green and yellow. The device itself features a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core CPU, which is a nice little bump actually from the 620s, which only has a 1 gigahertz processor. Now, technically, I don't have a problem running 1 gigahertz devices. Once you use them in isolation of themselves, they're actually totally fine. Having said that, 1.5 gigahertz dual cores, like in the 820, 920, 1020 series, definitely feels faster. So I'm kind of excited about seeing what a 1.2 gigahertz will feel like, because I think it's going to give just enough extra horsepower that people are going to feel really good using it. You can just see how massive that is by how small that camera is. Here's a quick comparison to, say, the 925, which is a pretty flagship device, obviously, from Nokia. Very different cameras on board. As far as size, though, pretty similar in a lot of ways. 925 is actually maybe a hair thinner. It's hard to tell. I got this case on board, obviously. But overall, you can see the size of the two devices pretty close, except for this is a 4.5 inch and this is a 4.7 inch. As you can see, we have booted up. Now the screen doesn't look like it has clear black, which is a bit of a disappointment. It is a 4.7 inch, I believe 480 by 800 resolution, and the color looks pretty good on it. It is a little, this seems closer to me to the 520 series as far as display quality. You're also really blowing up these tiles to a large size without getting the HD quality. So a similar device with screen size would be the Samsung TVS or a TVS Neo. But those are HD resolution screens, so they look absolutely stunning. This doesn't look bad, but you can sort of tell. Still, you're getting a 4.7 inch display in what is arguably a very affordable device, and because of that, it's kind of cool. Let's take a tour. We got the headphone jack on top as usual. Of course, you have that camera on the back along with a tiny little LED flash, which probably won't illuminate too much, but it'll give you just enough. Now the 520 series, of course, doesn't have a flash, so you get that here. You do have a front-facing camera. Once again, that's a signature of the 620 series and higher. You do get that on board. Going to the bottom, micro USB. So for those of you who like bottom charging, I'm actually a fan of that. Turn to the left-hand side. Of course, very clean as usual. And go over to this side, and you have your typical volume rocker and power button, and of course your camera button. Now it's kind of hard to actually see because those buttons are the same color as the device itself, which is sort of an interesting color choice. Usually you would expect them to be black, but obviously they chose something a little bit different here. Let's go into the software section, and you can see alarms, Angry Birds Roost, data sensors on board, which is pretty great. I mean, everybody loves data sense. You can also see the Here Drive, Here Maps. Now it's Here Drive, so it's not a global license. It's just going to be your local. That's one way actually Nokia saves money on these devices. Nokia Smart Cam, OneNote, People Hub, Transfer My Data, and World of Red Bull. So nothing too crazy on board here. I'm going to take a wild guess and just say it's running GDR2. I couldn't imagine it running anything less. And correct, it is running 10.328, which is very much the latest version of the OS for Windows Phone in general. So you are getting that. The contrast on this is pretty good. I don't think it's going to be totally killer out in the sun, although it probably does have you know, the ramping up ability of luminosity. So yeah, sunlight readability, Lumia color profile. So you get all those things on board, touch sensitivity, which is really good. And we probably also get the audio boost here. So you do get the equalizer and enhancement, something the 520 series omits, once again, to cut back on costs. All right, let's put this guy aside here. Overall, feels great in the hand. You can see it is thin enough. Very rounded corners, and so it just feels really good. Not too slippery. This orange is a kind of a matte orange, so you're not getting the gloss. And that display is obviously pretty massive. In the box, probably nothing too huge here. You get your little instruction booklet as usual. Got some information, and let's see what we get. We also get your micro USB charger, a little pair of headphones because this is an international device, so they do actually include the headphones. But other than that, nothing too crazy. Let's bring back the phone here. I'll do a quick comparison. 620 versus 625. It's like a family right there. And then of course, if you want to really compare extremes, you can go into the Lumia 1020, which is right here. So overall, great device. We'll have more pictures, hands-on, and specs of this phone and with this post here. If you want to head to Windows Phone Central for more information. Of course, we're going to do a quick review, and Rich Edmonds, our UK editor, also has this device too, so we may do a head-to-head to see how well this works. And you can see, oh, I didn't realize this came with a SIM on board. So it has AT&T already there, and it's only H, so it's not picking up the LTE. I do get mixed reception here, so we'll have to see when we go outside. But overall, it seems to be, you know, a pretty decent connection. I'll also throw in a T-Mobile card and see how that works too if you're curious. So head to Windows Phone Central for more information. Take care, everybody.